Okay, we're back. Um, Internet crashed on us, kind of threw everything into a spiral for us. So, um, gone through the end of stage one. Joey Logano is now in the lead after pit sickles. May not have pitted. I'd have to go back and check. I lost the internet, so I'm kind of playing catch up. So we're just going to start from here. Logano was the leader of the race coming back to start stage two, which is now 185 laps, by the way. So Van Gisbergen still in second. Logano's cleared him, but here comes Shane Van Gisbergen back on the inside. Let's go run through our top 10. We got Logano, Van Gisbergen. Denny Hamlin is host of our just past third. Hamlin's fourth. Elliott's fifth. Bubba Wallace sixth. William Byron seventh. Chase Briscoe eighth. Eric Jones ninth. And Chris Buescher in 10th. We'll go through the next group here in a minute. We'll see where Barry and Blaney have settled at the stage two. I expect at least one green flag pit stop if we stay green, of course. If we get a yellow, I expect we'll see pits, of course. But let's see what happens. Any kind of cautions. The intensity is going to ramp up as we go into this. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. Blaney's now in 12th. So he's making the progress that I kind of expected he would. I knew he'd climb up. I mean, it's Ryan Blaney on a shorter track. A Blaney win here would be huge for the point. Oh, we had another contact there between like John Hunter Nemechek and Kyle Larson, kind of right fender to rear left fender, right front fender of Larson to left of John Hunter Nemechek. And Blaney's in 11th and closing down. Blaney will be in the top 10 pretty soon. He's actually working on Chris Buescher for 10th right now, with Austin Dillon just in front. Josh Berry, 16th place. I don't know if I've said that all year long, except for Daytona, when I think he finished 10th. Ryan Blaney's last lap was 0.2 faster than the leader. So, in traffic, by the way. So, let's see. Who is that just went on the outside? I see Daniel Suarez down on the inside, driving the Cal Ripken fund, charity fund. There goes Eric Jones. Got past. So now Hocevar has entered the top three. Gisbergen, Logano, Hocevar. Man. I don't know if it's the smoke from Canada making me cough so much, but good Lord, it's getting crazy. So we've still got Van Gisbergen, Logano, Hocevar, Hamlin's top four. Blaney still hasn't cracked the top 10. I expect that pretty soon. But again, with a softer bumper, you can't just go plowing into people anymore. You gotta watch it. You damage the radiator, you're pretty well done. Let's see. Larson's still back there in 33rd. Ty Gibbs in 32nd. See, I lost the internet and lost my stream, so I lost part of what happened. Ty Gibbs must have had issues on pit road. Either that or other cars stayed out on older tires, and he came in to go ahead and get another set. Let me see if I can figure it out by going to the handy-dandy NASCAR app. Nope, Ty Gibbs was too fast entering pit road, so he had to go to the back. Penalties. They'll get you every time. At tracks like this especially. You get mired back in traffic, next thing you know, somebody's bumping you, your car doesn't handle right. You get traffic, and here come the leaders. I mean, these people, they're running 18-second laps. So, but it looked like everybody pitted on that last stage break. So nobody kind of stayed out. Blaney and Bell a battle here. So is Elliott. Yeah, Gilliland's running 12th and Elliott's 4th. But Bell is 13th and Blaney has now passed him. And still remember, Bell started 2nd. Blaney started 37th, 36th, somewhere back there. So, Blaney's made a charge to take over that. The winner of these two matchups go head to head next week in Indianapolis for the chance to win $1 million. And Blaney's just hugging the bottom line around this track. His car is just rolling. Just cleared Austin Dillon. Now on Chris Buescher for 9th. See if you can get him. Either way, he's made it up to the top 10. We've run 110. We have 340 laps to go. So I'm sure we're going to take another break. But Logano with Van is in front still. Shout out Shane Van Gisbergen, man. That dude, for being a road course ace, he is putting it to work. Denny Hamlin appears to be having some sort of issues. He's slipping back now. After restarting 4th, he's now 6th. I know it's only 2 spots, but we'll see. You have to keep an eye to see if he slips back any further. If there's something going on with his car, he got to lose. I'm waiting for the night to fall. Going to be pretty. Start seeing the brakes glowing red, the rotors from being on them so much in this track. When we were at Nashville, which is a bigger track than this, by the way, there was a lot of issues with brake rotors exploding. And that's a scary, not only for the drivers, but parts can go flying up into the stands and other drivers can run over them, puncture radiators, cut brake, all kinds of things can happen with that. Not to mention that you can just go. I mean, when I was at a race over at Gateway, our Worldwide Technology racetrack in St. Louis, I saw a car's brake rotor explode and it hit the wall, and it hit the wall hard, y'all. You would think they're on the brakes when they explode. They should be slowing down, but man, it was a hard impact. Logano has now cleared Van Gisbergen and he cleared him just like a lap ago. He's already put 0.6 of a lead on him. Blaney is working on Chase Briscoe, and he's still working on him, but I don't think he's going to be working on him much longer. I think Blaney's fixing to clear him right here. He may not, because he can't slide in front of him because there's a car up there. So Briscoe's probably going to hold on for another little bit, but it's just a matter of time, I believe, until Blaney just puts it and gets by him. Funny Chase Briscoe story. Last week, Carson Hocevar, who's great for the fans, for the kids. Carson Hocevar really understands, and he does a lot to sign autographs and do all that kind of stuff. Well, last week at Echo Park Speedway, he had a deal going on that the first 77, his car number, people that showed up with another driver's shirt could trade it in for one of his. And then he put out the final tally of how many were traded in of each driver that they got. Well, Chase Briscoe popped up and said, "Wow, no Chase Briscoe shirts were turned in." And it wasn't Hocevar, it was some other person responded, "Well, does anybody own a Chase Briscoe shirt?" And Chase Briscoe, being a fun-loving guy, is like, "Well, my immediate family does." Just kind of one of those things. And then the guy's like, "I'm going to go to Fanatics and look for a Chase Briscoe shirt. Not going to buy it, just going to look at them." So it's just kind of the interaction you get from the NASCAR drivers in the NASCAR world that you don't get from other people in their respective sports. And if you do get it, I don't see it. But guys, the rest of the field might be asking for a caution real fast because Joey Logano is just whipping everybody's tail right now. The old phrase "belt to ass" is in effect. It may have been, let me see how many laps. I think we've gone 12 laps since he passed Van Gisbergen. He's got a 1.27 second lead on him right now, which pretty much relates to a tenth of a second, which doesn't seem like a lot again, but in racing, a tenth of a second per lap. Blaney has now gotten past William Byron. Well, he did. Now he's back. That's going to trade back and forth. He's battling William Byron for 8th right now. Trying to see if Austin Dillon got into the wall. It looks like he might have gotten into the wall, or he may have a tire going down. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm trying to see. Doesn't look exactly right now, and but it's hard to tell. So still got Blaney and Byron going at it back there. Now it looks like I don't see any damage on the car, like he got into the wall. So they're just riding along, and they're just focusing on him right now. See, well, Josh Berry is no longer in 16th place. He's now in 14th. He's coming to the front. He said, "Anything you can do, I can do better, Ryan Blaney." That's not really true. He probably never said that. It'd be a lie if he did. I don't think he can grow a mustache like Ryan. I'm not sure anybody can grow a mustache like Ryan Blaney. I mean, some of the greatest mustaches in the history of mustaches are scared of Ryan Blaney's. Now he's back to working on Chase Briscoe again. That's the thing. You can't just go up and pass somebody. You have to work at it. You have to kind of plug along. Bubba Wallace sitting up there in front of these two, him and Chase Briscoe. Bubba Wallace changed 2 tires on the last pit stop to get some track position. It's holding on for him. So, it's because you have to. By the way, if you do get watching, and I'll repeat this again later if more people jump on, I've got it set to where you can only post once every 60 seconds because I'm the only one monitoring it. Seconds. I have it set up that way because I'm the only one that's monitoring the chat to look at comments. And if for some reason I get, people watching these, then I'm going to be overrun and not be able to keep up with the chat. And I don't want to be like that. I'd rather slow it down a little bit and see what happens. Josh Berry's coming, y'all. He's reeled in Austin Cindric and Christopher Bell. So, that's not very nice. This Faith person decided to come up, Faith Burnett 2457, decided to come up and say, yeah, until himself. It's not nice. She has a point, but it's not nice. Last lap for Josh Berry was a 1:15.7. The leader was 1:16. So he's faster. Like I said, he's good on the short track, y'all. He's really good. Josh Berry fun fact for everybody that wants to know. He is from the same high school as one Taylor Swift. I don't know if they were the same graduating class. I think they were, or she might have been a little bit behind him. But it's Josh Berry, Taylor Swift, and one of the IndyCar drivers in the IndyCar series, and I forget which one, all graduated from Hendersonville, Tennessee. So pretty crazy to think about a little town like Hendersonville to have that many people that are that famous. Well, I say little town. I don't know how big Hendersonville is. I don't know how big it is. So I shouldn't say it's a small town. So, oh, we got a 3 wide going here. Whoa. Who was involved in that? Was that Zilich? Yeah, Connor, Hamlin, and Hocevar. Logano's now stretched the lead over Chase Elliott, who's now gotten around Van Gisbergen to 2.2 seconds. Blaney's still sitting back there in 8th. I'm assuming we're coming up. We're 60 laps in. 185. Some drivers might split this in thirds, which would be pretty soon for a stop. If you split it in seconds, you're looking, or halves, I'm sorry, you're looking at another 30-ish laps. That's going to be a pretty long run on a set of tires. We'll see how that holds out. Blaney still in 8th, Bell 13th for the matchup. Chase Elliott's putting some distance on him and Todd Gilliland. Chase Elliott's also slowly catching Logano, but Logano's mired in lap traffic that Chase Elliott's going to have to deal with too. So we'll see if that kind of evens out. But it's now pretty much an even 2 seconds. Logano going after Chastain to put him a lap down. That's what will happen with the pass-through penalty. You're in the back of the field, and it doesn't take long for these drivers to come around and catch you. Adam, anybody. See if I can look up some stuff. We're in a commercial. We still got racing, obviously. Obviously, racing doesn't stop for commercials. Uh-oh, you got the friends, Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney, battling right now. Where did maybe he pitted? I was gonna say, where'd Briscoe go? But I think he pitted. He must have. But Blaney's coming. He's coming after Hocevar now. The hurricane that is Carson Hocevar. What? I have no idea what this Faith Burnett person's trying to talk about here. Yaqui mean Woody. I have no. I'm going to try to channel my inner translation of whatever language that is, and I'm betting, because you're watching, and I do appreciate you watching, by the way, that you mean Carson Hocevar, nicknamed the Hurricane. But if you watch Carson Hocevar, he wears a fire suit that makes him look like Woody from Toy Story. And he's like, I swear the dude's like 6 foot, 18 inches tall. He's huge. I don't know how he fits in these cars. It would look like Andre the Giant driving a smart car, I think. Yeah, Faith might need to drink another one. Actually, I don't know after that typing. I'm not sure she does need to drink another one. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, he has a fire suit that makes him look like Woody from Toy Story. And he's just goofy and lanky. And it's no offense to Carson Hocevar. I think he's really great, as I mentioned earlier, for the sport. But yeah, he does look kind of goofy in that fire suit. But anybody that wins a race and then hangs halfway out the car that can reach the pedals while still sitting on the door with a leg out, that's pretty impressive to me. So if you haven't seen it, if you go look it up on YouTube, look for Carson Hocevar's celebration at Talladega. It's pretty impressive. Man, let's see where we're at here. All right, still Logano. He's now cleared most of the traffic he was in. He's now pushed it back to about a 3.6 second lead. Denny Hamlin hanging out in third. Van Gisbergen slid back to fourth. Briscoe, there's Briscoe. I didn't see him earlier, but he's there. Don't know what happened. Maybe he was camouflaged. No clue. But he's fifth. Blaney sixth. Hocevar's falling back to seventh. Wallace eighth. Now remember, Wallace took 2 tires on the last stop. So that's a pretty good trade for track position if he can hold it until the next round of stops. Looks like everybody's going to run this on 2 stops. Well, 1 stop, I'm sorry, the stage break and then this one. But look at the brake rotors are just glowing already on Christopher Bell's car. Denny Hamlin's aren't. Christopher Bell's are glowing red. That's not a good sign this early. You still have 200 and something laps. That is not a good sign. They're going to have to probably figure out a way to get some more air into that to cool it down. But that's another reason why he's sliding back too, I'm sure. There's Josh Berry hanging out still. Where's he at? 15th now. We lost. Oh, now we're back in 14th. Probably go back to 15th, though. They're battling for position, and it kind of trades off and on. Appreciate whoever else is in the chat along with Faith. I appreciate whoever else is watching right there. I got 2 people watching. So whoever else is in there watching, if you get a chance, drop some comments, drop some questions. If you're not 100% sure what's going on with the race, I know I can't show it again, copyrights and things like that. Can't do that. So we're just kind of here going through it. I'm here of the sport, answering questions for people that might have it. Talking a little bit of whatever y'all want to know. And definitely, please drop your comments down there in the section. What is going on with my screen? Keeps like flashing blue at me. Who knows? I guess it's better than purple. Blaney's still sitting 6th. I expect. I'm not sure what is going on. He was pretty close with Briscoe. Now he's about 3 seconds behind Briscoe. So we'll see if that's a traffic thing. Might just be kind of chilling, cooling a little bit to let the tires kind of cool down some. So we'll see. So you still got Logano out about a 4-second lead now. Hamlin's now gotten back by Elliott. Like I said, this is the longest green flag run we've had so far. So this is going to be a good test for these crew chiefs to know what they need to do for long runs to get them fixed. Barry has now gotten back around. Christopher Bell is in 13th place. We've got a battle here for third between Chase. It's a chase. The chase is on. Chase Elliott and Chase Briscoe going at it. Somebody just hit the wall. That looked like Ryan Preece and the King's Hawaiian car. There's no butter on the wall, Ryan. You can't butter your rolls up there, brother. Like Ryan Preece. Funny guy. Him and Chris Buescher are so fun to go back and forth with. See what we got here. Logano coming up. If I'm Joey Logano, I'm like, don't touch anything with this car. This car is amazing. Heck, if I'm any of the Team Penske cars or even the Wood Brothers car, I'm like, just give me tires and fuel. Let's go. I mean, they're all the Penske cars are in the top 8. And Josh Berry with the Wood Brothers affiliated team is sitting 13th. So we're 90 into this stage. So you got, 94 left to go. 171 laps completed out of 450. It's a weird number. I don't know why we're doing 450. It's just whatever NASCAR wants to do, I guess. But 450 laps. Normally it's 400, 500, 300. I mean, there is some, I think like Atlanta or maybe Vegas are like 267 laps or something. So I guess it's whatever. And here comes pit cycle starting. Christopher Bell, kind of saw that coming. Gives up position to come into the pit. This is going to force the other cars to start coming too. Barry sitting in 12th right now, Blaney. So far, that's the only taker on pit road is Christopher Bell. We'll see how long it takes for others to come. I would assume there's Chris Buescher. He's in also. 4 tire. He's down in a way. Buescher's on his way. Trying to see if I see anybody else peeling off the pit road. Here comes another car to pit road. Looks like that's AJ Allmendinger. He's got a serious problem. His tire's looking like whoever this Faith Burnett is person's typing. It's wobbling all over the place. Let me see what he did. Did he hit the wall? Oh, got loose. Yep, up into the wall. That's probably going to end his day. Didn't look like that serious. Something went wrong with that before. But he got up into the wall. And that in his day could be the toe link and all that could be broken on that car. See if we can get an answer here. Josh Berry's in for his pit. Cindric and William Byron are both in. 9.6 seconds for Berry, 9.4 for Cindric. Allmendinger's going to take a while because they're looking at the car, so I'm not going to worry about counting his. But that's for those interested, 9.4 seconds to change 4, fill it full of fuel. That's crazy. Connor Zilic is in along with Austin Dillon. Trying to keep an eye out for pits. Chase Elliott comes in, gives up second place and comes in. Chase Elliott has a really good pit crew. I'm curious what kind of time they can put down. Zilic was 11 second. Austin Dillon was 9. Yeah, that's part of it. Faith, with your question is, it looks like something kind of let loose. I don't know that the tire went flat. It looks like almost something broke going into the corner, and that's what caused him to get up into the wall. But I don't know if they've got it fixed or what they've done. I'm trying to see if I've been watching. I haven't seen him go back to the garage. So, but his timer is off on pit road. So I don't know if they're still there working on it. I'm trying to just but I'll update it as quick as. Logano's still out on the track. Oh, we have a wreck. Looks like Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick, second in the points, both into the inside wall. Reddick gets his car fired up around, so did Bowman. So they'll both be able to continue. Just we just had something go flying off of Tyler Reddick's car. I don't know what it was. Yes, Blaney is in third right now. You are correct. Pit cycles. Cars in front of him have pitted. So he's moved up some. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky here. Let me get a drink before we get into this. Because you are in the middle of a green flag pit cycle. So what happened? So the Greg's low, red. I need to go back and see a wider look. Looks like Reddick kind of got up when Noah Gregson went down into the grass a little bit to kind of shoot up the track. And as he went up, it looks like Bowman might have been coming down. Yeah, it looked like Bowman was going to try to get to pit road, actually. I mean, you made it to pit road. Probably not the way you wanted to make it to pit road, but you're there. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Bowman was either going to try to come down and get to the pit, or he was just coming down to get position. And, this is going to be interesting. What's Daniel Suarez do? I think Daniel Suarez gets penalized. In NASCAR, we'll get back to the wreck and the pit cycle in a second. But watching this, at the beginning of pit road, there's an orange box on the outside that you can see, the drivers can see. Yeah, you wouldn't think you would, but yeah, they can see it. And you have to have, I think if all four tires are inside of that line, you're committed to the pit road. And it looked like all four of his were inside of that commitment box. When the wreck happened, they was told to go back out. I think to pit road, that's a penalty. I think, yeah, he was committed to pit road. I don't. Yeah, all four tires were inside of the orange box for sure. Yeah. So I need to see what the repercussions of that are. I really need to get my captions on. Let me turn it up a little bit here. So sounds like from what I just heard them talking about is exactly what was mentioned by Faith. Was it appears NASCAR has decided not to do the penalty because he was trying to avoid a wreck. I think I need to go back to that and listen because it's hard. But like I said, I don't want to get any copyright stuff. So let me mute for a second and see what I can figure out, and then I'll come right back. All right, still no clarification. They just went to they went through the pit cycle under. So we'll when it comes back, I'll go back again and see what happens with the Suarez and if there's any penalties or anything to come up. But this is really interesting because you're in the middle of a green cycle, a cycle of green flag pit stops. So you had some cars that were going to be a lap down until the leaders pitted. Well, the caution came out, so everything's there. So now you have cars trapped a lap down. They'll take the wave around which means they won't obviously pit. They'll just come back around and be on the lead lap, but it'll change all sorts of order. So I'm going to let NASCAR set the order, and then I'll jump right back on here in a second. Give me a few seconds. Plus, I'm going to try to find out what is said about the penalties with Suarez or anything like that. So I'll be right back. Shane Michael, 5575. Jeff Gordon was phenomenal. He definitely was. He was the last one to win at this race for a points-paying race, too. Wound up, it was 96. He was the last one to win a points-paying race at North Wilkesboro. But, yeah, I wasn't a huge Jeff Gordon fan, but I don't question the amount of skill and talent that dude had as a four-time champion. So I got nothing bad about Jeff Gordon. Just wasn't my driver back then. But, man, I hated when my driver was racing him. Okay, so no penalty for Suarez. You know, that was good. I guess it's the right call. We're going to see how it plays out with, see how it plays out. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's my buddy who works with me, the same company. Call him Blippy. He looks like Blippy. Oh, I know. Maddie would love it. He needs to come down and visit so you can see Maddie. I need to put him in suspenders in the boat first. So we're going back racing. No penalties on that set. Let's see where we're at. Here we go. See, you got so many cars trapped a lap down that this is going to be terrible. I don't even know how many cars we have on the lead lap. 15 cars on the lead lap. Some of the cars that are trapped a lap down: Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric, Chris Buescher, Bell, Bear. This is the downfall of short pitting if there's a caution. What does what mean? 15 in the lead lap. After the cycle of pits, you have so many cars that were a lap down that, this is the 15 cars that stayed on the track were okay, but then everybody else was a lap down because they had already passed them while they were on pit road. And thank you, Faith Burnett. And Josh Berry ranks. He looks okay. It looks like he just spun. Let's see what happens. Let me see. Did he? Come on, let me see. Did he get some help? He had to have gotten some help. Oh, yeah, Christopher Bell. All right. Well, someone needs to flatten your tires. At least he didn't wreck himself. But what this will do was all those cars that were a lap down now will get their lap. They'll do a wave around. So none of them will pit. They'll just go around and be back on the lead lap. So this is going to make it a lot better. He was having such a good. I mean, we're still got a long way to go, so I'm not going to say he's out. It's just a spin, barely contact with the wall. As long as the toe links aren't broke, we should be okay. But again, this is going to make a much more exciting race here because you have more cars will be back on the lead lap versus 15. 15 cars on the lead lap does not make for a good race. We've seen that before. So we'll see what happens with it. Quick shout out though, Faith Burnett, Shane Michael. Appreciate y'all jumping in the chat. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this. I'm just trying to see what we can come up with. Just trying to do something new and fun. Christopher Bell was just talking. Couldn't listen to it, but I'm pretty sure he was probably apologizing to the 21 team, saying he just got loose down there. So I hope that's what he was saying. If he said he did it on purpose, then we're going to have a problem. Chase Briscoe's pitting. That's odd. So now if he couldn't even. Well, but if everybody gets their lap back and he comes back, I mean, he could get the free pass. So we'll see. Let's see where we're at. So Barry's now in 33rd. Probably will pit, I'm assuming, to put tires and check the damage. So he'll be down there, but there'll be some more cautions and stuff coming that he'll be able to get his lap back. We're going to wait and see where everybody comes back with their laps. Still got Logano's out leading the way. Logano, let's see who's got the lead here. Yeah, Logano, Hamlin, Van Gisbergen, Blaney, Hocevar, Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones. Now, see, Todd Gilliland stayed out earlier, and that put him up to he's now in front of Chase Elliott in the bracket challenge. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. So while we're doing this, we're going to take a quick break and get ready to re-rack and see where everything sits. So I'll be back shortly. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick break. So um, I'm going to do some research and find out why we can't. I was under the impression, and again, I could be wrong. I never really paid much attention to this rule, but I was under the impression that because the cars were a lap down, if they didn't pit, they could take the wave around. But I don't know. I need to, like I said, I'll look more into that. Um, but thanks to Christopher Bell, Josh Berry's night is pretty much over. He's off. He'll come back out and run some laps. Maybe there'll be some attrition and he can gain a couple of positions. But thank you, Christopher Bell. I appreciate that. I used to like you. So let's see where we're at. Let's reset now. We've got 48 laps left to go in this stage. Logano's still in the lead. Hocevar second. Van Gisbergen, Hamlin, fifth. Blaney did mention on his last pit stop that as the run goes, he starts losing the rear of the car. So something to keep an eye on. Seems to do good in the middle portions of runs, but at the end he kind of falls back. So we'll see what happens. Wallace is 26th. Brad Keselowski come from his Gilliland 8th. Daniel Suarez, like I said, that could be an issue if Suarez wins this race with the garage saying that's not right. He should have had to go on the pit road and go ahead. So I don't know how that's going to play out. We'll see what happens down the future. And then Chase Briscoe's in 10th. Tons of after lap down. We have 17 cars on the lead lap. We'll get one more on the lead lap at the stage break. When the caution comes out, they'll get the free pass. I don't know what's going to play out here. This is going to be interesting with that few cars, especially with some of the big names tracked down with Byron, Elliott. Like I said, Gilliland and Elliott are head-to-head in the semifinals of the bracket. Gilliland's in 8th. Elliott's in like 20th, 19th maybe. Larson's a lap down. Buscher's a lap down. Bell needs to be a couple of laps down. I'm mad at him right now. Tyler Reddick's a lap down. There's some big people a lap down in this race that are going to seriously struggle to get their lap back if they don't get a lot of things falling their way. But we'll keep an eye on it and see how it all plays out. So let's see here. Nothing really happening at the moment. Look, Logano's got the car to beat. That's just a given. He is just toying with the field right now. He's already pulled out to over a second and a half lead on Carson Hocevar. And his car seems to get better the longer it runs. So, plus he was one of the cars that ran long when that caution came out for Bowman and Reddick's wreck. So he's going to be able to go to the end with fresher tires than anybody else behind him, except Briscoe. Briscoe did pit, which I don't, if a caution comes out right now and the leaders stay out and I'm not a lap down, I'm pitting for tires just because you're only going to go back to 16th place. So we're showing Christopher Bell's on board right now. See what he does. But good move by Brad Keselowski to stay out for that, because I'm assuming that's how he got his track position, was by staying out. So let's see. So because of these results right now, the cut line has changed pretty massively. Eric Jones was in 16th. He's now out. If the chase were to start today, Logano has moved up. Cindric is in. Van Gisbergen's still in. Wallace is in. Byron's in. Just outside of the cut line, you got Jones, Priest, Keselowski. But Keselowski in 7th. He's going to get stage points, which is going to push him closer to the cut. So Eric Jones is 11th, so he's not going to gain much. Eric Jones won't get any stage points, but he'll He's sitting right there, and that's unless he passes Suarez or gets up into the top 10. Yeah, Joey Logano. What's it been? 4 laps since I said something. It's now all seconds. It's the difference in clean air on the car and dirty air on the car, and racing and racing other people and kind of racing, which is pretty much what he's doing. He's just out there cruising around. But again, you still got over 200 laps to go. You have 218 laps still left to go in this race. So it's not like we're close to being done. Let's see anything other movement. Don't really see any other movement right now. You still got cars a lap down. And without a numerous amount of cautions, I think we're not going to have too many cars finishing on the lead lap, unfortunately. So looks like Hamlin's fixing to get around Van Gisbergen for third. Took that pretty easily. I think he kind of gave it on. Kind of watching this. Some of the things they said the broadcasters are keeping their eye on are fatigue, both mental and physical. It's a lot of laps. 450 laps. I don't care how big of a track it is. That's a pretty crazy amount. There's Cole Custer cruising around like the car. Nice looking car. Smoked pit. Chevrolet for the Haas factory team. Kind of a weird color for the number on the top. Everything else is like brown and white and yellow. And then on top, I guess Cisco's the sponsor too. That's why the light blue number on top of the car when everything else is brown and yellow. Weird looking. But Hamlin now gets around Hocevar for second. Zane Smith. Why are we focusing on Zane Smith? Not sure why. Doesn't look like anything crazy with his car. Mm-hmm. Logano just passed Austin Hill and Cole Custer. You should turn the volume down. You can't. You just turn the volume down on your phone. I don't know what happened. Oh, let's see. Not much difference right now. Nothing's really popping. Brian Blaney is back there. Got a little bit of action here between Blaney, Briscoe, and Wallace. It looks like Blaney's car starting to have issues again with the rear grip. I think he's just trying to till the end of the stage and then hopefully to get it fixed going into the last stage. You got at least, the stage break caution, and then you have another caution coming up at the, there'll be another pit stop at least. I won't say another caution, but more than likely there's going to be 1 or 2 more cautions in the last stage. The intensity is going to ramp up like it always does at the end of these races. right now it seems like everybody's kind of playing a little nice, kind of just doing their thing. Blaney has slipped back to 7th now, but he's got a 2-second lead over 8th, so might be able to hang on to at least that position. Want to definitely stay in the top 10. But right now, it just pretty much looks like we're playing Joey Logano versus the field at this point. This is just domination. I'd have to go see exactly how many laps he's led, but it's a lot. And shout out to some of the, back in the day, there used to be some really funny, good NASCAR commercials, and they seem to be trying to come back to get that going. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I like the fact that they're kind of doing some of these commercials, especially with these younger kids, the hosts of ours, even Noah Gregson, Shane Smiths, the Connor Zillich, the next wave, so to speak, of talent coming through. Comes Joey Logano chasing down, coming into some lap traffic. This will allow second place to probably close up a little bit. But when you've got a 3.5-second lead, you can afford a little bit with 16 to go in the stage. Won't be an easy pass working on Ross Chastain. It's never easy to pass Chastain. But what you kind of look for is maybe a car gets in front of Chastain and slows him down even more, and that allows you to clear him. I think once you clear Chastain, the rest of the guys are going to be a little bit easier to get around. Not that anybody's just going to give up a position. Not saying that at all. But I mentioned anybody that watched last week's race preview at Echo Park, I had mentioned that was a race that could help turn things around for the Fords. And, you're sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4 Fords out of the top 10. 4 Fords, 1, 2, 3 Toyotas, and it should be 3 Chevrolets if my math is leading me correct. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So, Ford wins this. You're going back-to-back wins for Ford. Ford did this years ago where they were struggling, and then they kind of caught fire in the summer going into the end and worked out pretty well when you had Blaney win the championship that year. Everybody was ready to hand the championship to Denny Hamlin or Tyler Reddick, but I inform you that Ryan Blaney and even Joey Logano and this team Penske, they seem to have figured some things out. They're starting to run because at the beginning of the year, RFK was the leading pack for Ford, but it looks like Team Penske is like saying, "Yeah, you're not us yet." Where's Cindric? I think Cindric is a car, and he might be on the lead lap. I have to look and see here as it cycles back around. But we know that Logano and Blaney are definitely in the top 10, 1-1 and 1-7. Whereas, Cindric is trapped a lap down in 19th, but still can get that back. Just kind of looking through here, seeing if I see any other movement. Blaney's lost a little bit of time to Keselowski. He's probably going to lose that spot. Might lose 9th position to Gilliland, but we'll see how that's going to play out. He's still should get at least 1 or 2 stage points out of this. You've got 5 to go. He might be able to hold Keselowski off, but you can see something is he's not happy with that car right now. That car was lights out, but the track has changed. It's now dark outside. You're under the lights, so the track's cooler. So the handling on the cars changes drastically when tracks go from hot to cold or cold to hot. They change drastically. Appreciate whoever else popped into the stream. Drop a chat, drop a comment.
I did too.
Yeah, it showed 2. 3 to go. Logano got he's got a 4.5 second lead. Just pure domination. And he earned 8 points in stage 1. He'll earn 10 points. So you're looking at a total of 18 points for Logano, which is huge when you come in below the cut line. Looks like we got Wallace and Van Gisbergen going at it. Blaney did lose the spot to Keselowski, so now he's in 8th. But 1 to go, he should be okay. This might be a battle for a free pass right here coming off the line. It looks like, I don't know if Stenhouse was involved in that, but it was Stenhouse, Elliott, and Larson all battling to the line. That could have been for the free pass. So we'll have to see if Stenhouse was involved. If not, it was Chase Elliott. He was ahead of Larson. Just one of those things, man. You just don't know. Like I said, having a good run and then just get run over by another car. And Christopher Bell did not do that on purpose. I honestly know that. It's nothing to do with that. It happens. He got loose. It just happens. It seems like the Wood brothers might need to go through their whole car and use a metal detector to find magnets or something, because it seems like they just attract every other vehicle into theirs. There's been so many incidents this year with the 21 car that were really of not his doing, that it just, what are you going to do? It just happens. It sucks that it happened like that. I really had higher expectations for that team coming into this year, based on last year. The way they ran didn't end well for them, but they made the playoff and all that. So, but we'll see what happens. I'm a big Jesse Love fan. He's taking over the 21 car next year. Not a problem with that. It just means I have to go buy more merchandise. Oh, well, maybe I'll have to make a trip to Stewart, Virginia to go check out the Wood Brothers racing shop, which, if you've never been to one of the race shops, I highly recommend any of them. The Wood Brothers, to be honest, the Wood Brothers and Richard Childress Racing are probably 2 of the best ones based on historical stuff to see. Richard Childress, you have all the Dale Earnhardt Sr., Kevin Harvick, for me, was my driver before Barry. So you've got a lot of that stuff there. Wood Brothers, you've got, my goodness, you got to remember Wood Brothers been around for 75 years. So being around for 75 years, you can imagine the amount of drivers they've had. When we were there last year, we were lucky enough to run into Leonard Wood, who was giving talks and explaining about him building a quarter scale model that runs of like a 421 engine. All the little RC cars he was building by hand, little bitty pieces. This man's 90 something years old. He's still in the shop working on stuff. It was crazy. Got my picture with him. One of probably the best memories I have from NASCAR for sure was Leonard Wood's picture. But again, I see we have somebody else in the chat or in the stream. Just chat, ask questions. If you're not sure, you want to know what's going on. Anything you don't know about the sport of NASCAR, um, I'll answer as best I can, or try to find the answer for you. I'm constant. My first attempt to go on live to do a kind of simulcast watch along of a race, but I do previews and reviews every week on my channel. We also do a lot of college football talk with another group of guys I do stuff with called the WTP Sports Dudes. We're live pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and it'll probably get a little more active as football season cranks up. But right now, NASCAR are really about the only things going on. World Cup just ended. Shout out Spain, beating Argentina. Still haven't had a back-to-back winner at the World Cup in, I don't think, since this was the last one. So, we'll see what happens. Not a lot going on. What are we stopping for? Must be something going on the track. Just at our pit cycles, going into stage 3. Looks like Blaney moved up one spot on pit road. So now he should be in 7th. We'll set the rest of the lineup, see if there's any penalties for anybody. It's race cars, but there's still penalties. Speeding, uncontrolled tire, losing control of your tire on pit road during a change. If you leave the pit box and the gas can or any other equipment is with the car and leaves, there's a removing equipment from pit road or pit box. There's numerous penalties. Obviously, speeding, entering pit road, speeding on pit road. There's so many different penalties that can raise their head. That can force you to be in 2nd place all the way back to the end of the line. So, see if my NASCAR.com has any updates of penalties. Let's see. So as of right now, no penalties have been assessed. Joey Logano came in first, left first. Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe are 2nd and 3rd. So, and Ty Dillon got the free pass. When they come back up, we will check on the rankings and also not rankings, but standings, and also check on where everybody stands with one stage to go in the bracket challenge. was just watching. All right, so coming back, we've done the choose. They have a little orange triangle out there, and drivers can choose what lane they want to start in. So Logano obviously leads, took the outside lane. See, he's got Denny Hamlin on the inside in second, and coming off of turn 2, he's about cleared. He cleared. Logano or Hamlin fights back on the inside, but the momentum off of turn 4 is going to clear him completely. And no, now Logano gave Hamlin the inside or the outside. See if he can stay in front of him. Yeah, he did. So Logano's clear to the lead. Hamlin second, Briscoe third. Wallace and Briscoe are trading third and fourth, back and forth right now, so we'll let that settle. But those two are right there. Bergen, Hocevar, Keselowski, Blaney, Suarez, Gilliland, Gibbs, Priest, Stenhouse, Eric Jones, and Ty Dillon are the 15 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else has got some issues. They need some carnage to happen to get back on the lead lap. That wreck between Bowman and Reddick kind of changed everything up drastically, and kind of made it a 15-car sprint. So we're just going to have to go, Shane, I'm Blippy. Yep, you are. You have to buy you some orange suspenders and a blue shirt so you can maybe, there's some side money. You could become Blippy and do kids' parties. Oh, let's see here. Okay, Logano, he pulled out to almost half a second lead. Still looking pretty much the same in the top 10. Ty Gibbs got back on the lead lap. So shout out Ty Gibbs. That helps him points-wise. So let's see where we're at with the challenge, the in-season bracket challenge. Blaney is matched up with Christopher Bell. Blaney sitting. Try to figure out where Christopher Bell is. Christopher Bell is 28, a lap down. So Blaney pretty much has that pretty much locked up as long as nothing happens. Your other battle is between Todd Gilliland and Chase Elliott. Let's see where we can find them. Gilliland sitting 11th, and Elliott is, I'm trying to see where Elliott is. I'll look at Elliott in a minute. Biggest movers since the start of the race. Blaney up 27, Briscoe 26, and Wallace 23. Trying to locate Chase Elliott. So we said Gilliland's 11th. Where is Elliott? Not in the top 20. And so he's a lap down as well, which is going to almost eliminate Chase Elliott. My pick to win the bracket challenge. Which, I had him and Blaney matching up, so it looks like I'm going to have one of them there. Much better than I did last year, that's for sure. Let's see, looks like Blaney's going after Hocevar right now. You want to be careful racing around Hocevar. He's aggressive. But I think he's kind of just chilling right now and is content with where he's at, knowing he's got about a top 10 car. He doesn't want to do anything stupid to cost him top 10. Blaney just can't seem to clear off. It's just he gets the lead, noses out, gets half a car length, but he just can't slide up in front of him. He might right here. It looks like Hocevar went a little wide. Nope. Hocevar battles right back. That's some good racing right here. They're going at it. If you're Blaney, you want to clear him fast, and he just cleared it. Oh, well, now see if he can hold him off or dove inside. But that's going to give Blaney the top side with the momentum coming off. He should be able to get ahead of him, and he does. Cleared him down into, looks like turn 3. Yep. So Blaney clears him for 6th place. You got Keselowski and Gibbs coming up, chasing down Hocevar right now. Let's see. Not really any other movement. Keselowski is closing the gap down on Hocevar, so we're going to see what that does. We got 3 wide here with Cindric, Dillon, and Sten. See, is anybody going to back out, or are they just going to try to race it 3 wide? No, they're going to go. Well, they cleared it out, so it worked out. Wasn't sure that was going to work out, but it did. Austin Cindric was having such a good run, but man, that one pit stop will get you. Why? Why do you keep turning blue? So we're at like 296. 4 more to 300. So 153 laps to go. No movement. Top 10, everything's kind of holding steady right now. Logano is pulling away. I mean, broken record. Gets the lead, and he just takes off. Which is, what you're supposed to do. But it also helps. He really wants to get out, and he wants to get around some cars on the back end of the track, because when there's a caution, say, if he's got lapped cars between him and Denny Hamlin can't pass the lapped cars to catch up to him. He has to wait behind those cars. So let's say that Logano passes 4 cars. Well, when they get ready to come to pit, Logano will pull off, and then Hamlin has to wait, and then he can pull off. So Logano will have, call it 4 car lengths going into the pit. That's a big difference when you're talking about changing tires and stuff. He's got 4 car lengths start of changing tires. So it's a big advantage. That's why he wants to get out. He wants to try to get as many cars between him and Denny Hamlin as he can, or whoever is 2nd place at the time, which he's up to a 2nd lead over Hamlin. And last night in the truck race, Chandler Smith wound up winning by, I think it was 8 seconds. And if this goes green, it's liable to be something like that with Logano too. 8 to 9 second lead. I could see that easily. Keselowski gets around Hocevar. Gibbs is now working on Hocevar. And Keselowski wants them to stay side by side for a little while. Ty Gibbs has already cleared him. Ty Gibbs has a pretty good car too, it appears. So looks like we had a little contact between Keselowski and Hocevar. Nothing serious, just a little trying to side draft to pull him back a little bit, and got a little too close. Don't think it was anything major. Didn't seem to affect either car. Slowed down Hocevar a little bit, but it slowed down Brad too. So if we had a caution, Larson would be passed right now. Kyle Larson is the first car 1 lap down. We'll see how he plays out. Cindric, who I mentioned was having a good run earlier. I mean, if he on Larson, he would be the free pass. So got to watch. Always want to watch that first car 1 lap down to see who's going to get it if we do get a caution. And who knows, we could have another cycle of green flag stops, and this could shuffle, and we could get a ton more cars on the lead lap. So we're just going to have to watch it play out and see what happens. I see Larson. See, I wish instead of just showing the 1 lap down, they would switch it though and show the between all the cars. I think I can look it up on my NASCAR app though. Let me go check. Yeah, see, it still shows 1 lap down too. But it looks like he ran a 19.5 second lap and Cedric ran a 19.4. So he closed the gap a little bit. Somebody pitted. It's a weird time to pit. Oh, no, that might be the 66 car. There's somebody else on pit road. What is going on here? I'm sure these are cars that are multiple laps down. That are probably off sequence. So they're just trying to get stuff. It looks like Cindric's creeping up on Kyle. Kyle better be careful or he may lose the lucky dog spot. Seems like Kyle's having a little trouble getting around Suarez, and that's allowing Cindric to close up. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Todd Gilliland right behind Suarez. Yeah, it is. So Larson has cleared Suarez, though. So now Cindric's got to get around Gilliland and Suarez and then still track down Kyle. But a caution at the right time, and this can all flip. But Gilliland is now going after Suarez. Shout out Todd Gilliland. Good run. To even still be in this bracket challenge. He was the 25th seed going into this. Chris Buescher's in on pit road. But he was the 25 seed going into this tournament. Blaney was 3, Bell was 10, and Elliott was 4. And the way things stand now, we're going to have a 3 seed versus a 25 seed for the championship of the in-season challenge. But I'd be happy with that because that's 2 Fords. And the way Fords have had a struggle this year, I'd be happy with that. To see 2 championship. See, we got some extra people back in the chat. Whoever has joined the chat, jump on, say something, mention something, throw your name. I appreciate you watching. Like the stream if you don't mind. Also, if you're watching and you could go throw me a subscribe on my channel, that'd be great too. Just something we're doing here for some fun on a Sunday night to kind of kill some time. I'm not going to guarantee I would do this every race, but we'll do it for a few and see what happens here. Yeah, Shane, kidding. You don't need to be around kid parties. Probably scare the kids more than you entertain them. Hell, you scare me when we're at work, so. But, everybody, like I said, won't be doing it for every race, but we'll do it for a few here and there, trying to just gain some traction, see what's going on. Something fun. I'm going to watch the race anyway. So if I can reach out to somebody that may not know a lot about the sport, maybe I can help somebody. Maybe somebody will get interested, find a driver they like, find something that turns them on to the sport, and realize it's a really fun sport. It's one of the most family-friendly sporting events you'll find. It's super entertaining, especially in person. It's just amazing to go to one of these in person. It's not a race, it's an event. And it's an event that can be enjoyed by the whole family. So we had Logano out with about a 1.5 second lead a minute ago. That's now shrunk to under a second. It's been held up in traffic, so that's allowed Denny Hamlin to close down kind of getting through that, so I expect him to start pulling away again. We'll see how quick he can get around Austin Hill, who Austin Hill was thrown into a pretty rough situation, of course, taking over after Kyle Busch's passing. He's doing the best he can. So he's good in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, different style car. So, but I mean, he's doing fine. I mean, it's never easy to take over the car of somebody like a legend. I can remember when Kevin Harvick took over for Dale Earnhardt Sr. There's in football terms, it's like what's going on in Alabama with Kalen DeBoer taking over for the greatest Nick Saban. It's just you're going to have how people are going to compare you to that person, and it's not fair, but it's going to happen. So, shout out to Austin Hill for that. So Cindric, Zane Smith is now with Cindric, but I looked like Cindric was going to get Suarez and set his sights on Larson for the lucky dog. I wouldn't be surprised if Cindric either pits early and tries to leapfrog Larson, or if Cindric lets Larson pit to leapfrog him and then hope for a caution. We'll just have to let that play out for a second. Let's see. Blaney's still cruising around in 6th place. Logano, he got through the traffic and he's pushed it back out over a second lead now. When you've got a dominant car, you've got a dominant car. And there's just not much you can do about it. Two of the Penske cars always good tonight. Toyotas, I'm not going to say the Toyotas look good. The Toyotas have looked good all year. They've been by far the most dominant. You've got, for Joe Gibbs Racing, you have 2, 3, and 8. And then 23-11, you have 4th place Bubba Wallace, which is owned by Denny Hamlin. So, Logano just gets around Bowman, putting him a lap down, or another lap down, I should say, maybe 3 laps now. Let's see where we at. What are we watching here? Oh, we're watching Gisbergen and Wallace go at it for 4th place in a gang of traffic, and that brings Ryan Blaney into the picture. It's that quick. Cars get next to each other. A car just sucks up. Blaney in the middle of the track, middle of 3 wide. Don't like to be 3 wide middle. All it takes is somebody coming down on you or coming up on you. Sliding around. Blaney looks like me driving on ice. He's sliding all over the place. Yeah, maybe. You might be right, Shane. Big Ten's good, but that's a story for another day. You should go watch some of my videos out there with the SEC power rankings today, and we'll do the Big Ten next weekend. Luckily, I won't be here, so I won't have to jump on for the Big Ten preview. So I don't have to bash how weak of a conference y'all are. At the bottom, in the middle, and everywhere else, except the top. So Logano pulls out to a little bit of a lead. As expected. Blaney gets around Van Gisbergen for 5th, and now he sets his sights on Bubba Wallace. So, see, Logano 2 seconds already. Let's just say we're battling for second unless we get a late restart or something here, but we're just going to call this the battle for second place here. Hocevar is going backwards. Don't know why. Not that he's driving in reverse. That'd be probably frowned upon. by NASCAR. But he fourth or fifth position a minute ago. He is, where is he? 15th, 14th. Blaney just told Bubba Wallace, move over, I'm coming through. I like Bubba's car design. It's a good looking Coca-Cola car. Blaney driving his typical number 12 bright highlighter yellow Menards car with Duracell on the hood. It's a good looking car too. I like the black with the bright yellow. I have a lot of orange, different orange cars on the track. Keselowski, Suarez, Priest. Because Larson was the free pass a minute ago, if y'all remember me saying that. But because Joey Logano is just trashing the field, he is Ty Dillon is now the first car. And Carson Hocevar, who was up in fourth or fifth a minute, just got lapped. Logano just lapped him. So now we have 12 cars on the lead lap. I haven't seen this done in a long time. And Chase Elliott is fixing to go 2 laps down. Pretty much all but assuring Todd Gilliland advances. And Bell is 3 laps down. So Blaney has pretty much advanced. It's going to be Blaney and Gilliland, the battle of the Fords at Indianapolis for $1 million. I'm calling it right now because it's probably fixing to go. He hasn't gone down yet, but Logano is to his inside, and now Elliott is 2 laps down. So, nope, came back on the outside. Sorry, spoke too soon. Logano's going to put in a lap down, another one. It's just it's more a matter of if, not when, or when, not if, I guess. Keselowski. Good run from Brad Keselowski. Holding on to 7th spot. Ty Gibbs behind him. Zane Smith is down, so he's not a battle for position there. In fact, Zane Smith could have got tires for all we know. And that may be why he's pulling away from Keselowski, but they're not going to focus on those guys doing pits. They're going to focus on the leaders. Still no change. Still 12 cars on the lead. I'm trying to see. They moved away from Logano. I was trying to see if he got around Elliott yet. I'd really like to know what's going on Hocevar's car. Something's just not right there. That car was good a few laps ago. It looks like Elliott still 1 lap. Nope, just went 2 laps down. So, you take your little Sharpie, put Todd Gilliland and Ryan Blaney in the finals of the bracket challenge. I just don't see any for Elliott or Bell to get up in front of Blaney or Gilliland. So, the Chevrolets have struggled this year too. Everybody wants to dog on the Fords. Chevrolet's had a little bit of a struggle too. So it just seems like the Fords might be figuring something out more than the Chevrolets are, or quicker, I should say, not more. So we'll have to, I'm going to watch that and see how it plays out. Next week, like I said, we'll be in Indianapolis. I won't be on for that one. I'll be leaving to go to my granddaughter's first birthday party. My twin granddaughters over in Missouri's first birthday party. So won't be on next weekend at all. for that forward to that. Super excited to go see them. Haven't seen them in a few months since they came over to Columbus to visit me and the wife. So Logano still 1.25 second lead. Back in traffic again, so it's going to let Hamlin close up again. But the quicker he can dispatch of this, then of course, like I mentioned, Hamlin's got to come through it. So Hamlin's going to close it down pretty good because there is a gang of cars in front of Logano, unless he can clear these guys really, really fast, which they're gonna fight. But it looks like he just cleared Austin Dillon, maybe the next lap. Maybe right here he gets him. Looks like Joey Logano is not just taking the corner in a oval. It looks like he's kind of working a diamond shape, kind of going into the corner, up, and then cutting back down. So it's kind of what it looks like. I wish they would stay on Joey a little bit longer. I understand he's out in front, and it's kind of you're looking for other battles on the track. But I kind of like to see what he's angling there. Look, Wallace just got back in front of Blaney, but those two will probably swap it back and forth unless Blaney's car is starting to give up again. We got under 100 to go. 93 laps to go. Here's Logano. Yeah, see, he's coming up off the bottom and then kind of diamonding back down. So good strategy. I mean, it's working. We just put, or we're about to put, the number 12 car, or not the number 12, but the 12th place car a lap down. He's working on that right now. Hamlin is now coming through the traffic, so Logano has again pushed his lead out. Briscoe's now gotten by Hamlin. Is Hamlin pitting? There we go. I was wondering. His lap time fell off drastically. So either he had a flat or something happened, but he hit pit road. So he's making his final pit stop. Logano is now coming to pit road. So the leaders are both in. This is going to be interesting. Hamlin came one lap before Joey. We're going to see if Joey can hold the spot or if Hamlin's going to leapfrog him. What happens? So Hamlin's on the track and Logano pit box. Logano went a 9.2 second. I did not see Blaney's pit stop time, but Logano went 9.2. Blaney's in. Hocevar's in. Knew Hocevar had to come. He was bleeding spots bad. Ryan Preece is in. Let's go see where. Oh, Logano came out in front of him, but it's close. Hamlin's right there now. Right now, Briscoe scored the leader, followed by Wallace, Van Gisbergen, Keselowski, Gibbs, Gillen, Suarez, Jones. None of those have pitted. Logano's in 10th place. He was a lap down. He'll get that back when the leaders finally pit. Hamlin is in 10th place, obviously a lap down. Again, he'll get that back when the leaders pit. Hamlin, Joey's bumper, but Joey cleared Todd Gilliland. So now he's got Tyler Reddick. He's got two Toyotas. No, is that Gibbs or is that Cody Ware? There comes Chase Briscoe to pit road. Yeah, it's the Ford versus Toyotas right now. Joey just needs to get that car ramped up and start rolling again. Really needs somebody to be right next to Denny Hamlin to slow him down a second. And it would be really nice if Brad Keselowski and the Ford would just get the hell out of the way and let Logano go and hold up Hamlin. Earn your Ford contract. You're a Ford car. Slow down Denny. So, interesting. Hamlin's right there now. Half, almost 2-second lead Logano had evaporated. And that's when you pit early. Ryan Blaney had a penalty on pit road. Won't hurt him too bad. It shouldn't. He should be one lap down after serving the penalty. We'll see. We'll watch it cycle through. I don't know what the penalty was. Probably speeding. Too much facial hair. I don't know what's going on with him. But we got Logano in front of Hamlin. Right now, they're in 7th position. That is going to be Ryan Blaney was too fast entering. I saw that right there. He locked up the brake. He just couldn't get it slowed down fast enough. Where is Blaney? We'll see where Blaney pops up. Logano, like I said, Logano 6, Hamlin 7, Briscoe 8. Those 3 have already pitted. So that's essentially the race for the lead. Everybody else in front of them has to pit. Van Gisbergen's already pitted. He's in 14th. I'm going to have to let the cycle play out to see where Ryan Blaney falls. I don't think Christopher Bell has pitted yet. So that's, of course, who Blaney's battling with. Ooh, Wallace just kind of. Yeah, he got loose before Logano even got there. So Wallace is now into the pits. So now we still have Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Suarez, Jones, all still need to pit. I don't see Ryan Blaney anywhere on this list. Did Ryan Blaney quit? What happened here? Still Logano out in front of Hamlin. It's close, but he's still leading them. So the 6 is now the race leader, still needs to pit. He's about half a track in front of the 22. And Joey's not really diamonding the corners right now. He's more just kind of rolling them. And I think he's doing that, letting the tires, of course, build up air pressures and things like that. So I would expect he would go back to that diamond pretty soon, especially if he can get clear and put a little bit of gap on him and Denny. Austin Dillon could be a real big fan, but he didn't put up much of a fight at all. So there's William Byron leaving his pit, 8.4 seconds. That's insane. So Joey's put a little bit of distance going into the corner there, but it's just going to be who can get through this traffic the best. Then it looks like Joey's now starting to diamond the corners again. And he's now starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Denny, but Denny's still within striking distance. So what Joey needs is exactly what just happened with Eric Jones battling with Hamlin, kind of slowing him down. So Keselowski just pitted. So there's Blaney. Blaney's now 1 lap down. I knew he'd be at least 1 lap with the penalty, but I believe Bell was 2 or 3 laps down. So Blaney should be okay as long as there's no other issues. But that's going to pretty much extend Denny Hamlin's point lead even further with Reddick and Larson, or Reddick and Blaney both having issues tonight. So we'll just have to kind of see how it plays out. But now that we've got Logano and Hamlin back out front and on the lead lap, we can kind of see the gap between the two and see how it kind of happens. Right now, we're sitting at about 0.3 of a second. So we'll see what happens over the course of this run and see if Logano can start pulling away now that he's got some clean air, or can Hamlin keep it close or keep it right there at least. We have 67 laps to go. Suarez is now on pit road. Logano going after Kyle Larson. Really need to be putting these guys down pretty fast. Use them. Yeah, that's what you need. You need Larson to hold up Hamlin. But he didn't hold him up very much at all. So you're still at 0.4. It's pretty close. It's hanging a lot closer than it was earlier. That's for sure. Where earlier, Logano was just blowing past people. Now, you didn't have the restart to where you could have a clear track for a while and build that lead. You've got lap traffic all over the place, and you're coming up against who's this coming up? It looks like Ty Dillon, John Hunter Nemechek, Ross Chastain, and Austin Hill. This could be a big thing that gives Logano a little bit of break if he can get through this. Because Hamlin is going to have to come through it too. And Ty Gibbs is there. And Ty Gibbs is a lap down. Right now, we only have 5 cars on the lead lap, by the way. And Ty Gibbs is not one of them. So Ty is actually can help Logano, believe it or not, even though his teammate is Denny Hamlin, by slowing down the 22, by getting up next to him. But I'm not sure Ty Gibbs' car's handling well enough. We'll have to see. I think he's on fresher tires too, though, so that's going to be an advantage. But Denny is kind of mired in traffic right now between Riley Herbst and Ross Chastain. And if Logano can clear Gibbs, he'll have pretty good track for a little bit. So he's either got to clear him or he's got to let Gibbs go and just kind of fall in line behind him and roll with it, which is almost what I would think he would do, just because 0.8 of a second on Hamlin right now. You don't want to race Gibbs to burn up your stuff. Connor Zilic coming to pit road. So Blaney's still 1 lap down, still fine to transfer. I think he got the call to come to pit road late, and that's why he locked up the tires and kind of slid into through the line and got caught for speeding. But now Hamlin's through, Logano's through, and you've got 0.5 a second, 0.5 of a second gap second with 55 laps to go. Again, now you have 6 cars on the lead lap. That's true because Gibbs got around Logano. So with 6 cars on the lead, doesn't matter. Car handles better on the real long run. Logano has 1 lap better tires. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you'd be surprised. The problem is all these cars with fresher tires that pitted after those two are faster right now, even though they're laps down. Yeah, and Blaney said, I'm not done. I'm coming. I mean, he's a lap down, so he'd have to pass everybody. But if nothing else, Blaney can play major spoiler with as fast as his car's been tonight. If he can get up there with Hamlin and Logano and get next to Hamlin and slow him down, he could help his teammate to the win, knowing he doesn't have a shot to win. Without having a shot to win, he'd probably be more than likely to get up there and help his teammate by either, side drafting Hamlin to slow him down, racing him hard, or if he gets in front of him, blocking him. We've seen it happen. Chase Elliott did it a few years back to Kevin Harvick when Harvick was chasing down. Was it Larson? I think he was chasing down. And he never got there because Elliott just kind of got in front, changed tires, and played defense. And caused a little rift between the two, but it's part of it. That's why you have teammates out there for a reason. So we'll see how they settle this. Where's Blaney? Let me see. Hamlin's second. There's Blaney. 12th. So he has some distance to go. I'd like to see the little map to see where Blaney is in relation to Hamlin, though. Because 2nd to 12th could be, really not that far off based on the lap downs and things like that. So Tyler Reddick is 5 laps down now. So it could be a chance where Blaney might actually be able to overtake Tyler Reddick for 2nd in the point standings. We're hanging steady at about 0.6 gap between Logano and Hamlin for right now. We'll keep an eye on it. 47 to go. I'll kind of make sure I can check back at about 40, see where we are in about 7 laps time. Logano's coming into more traffic. So again, will probably close the gap down. But this was about where Logano got into traffic earlier, and his car just handled so well that he was able just to kind of pick these guys off, catch time, pick them off one at a time. And it seemed like Hamlin was struggling a little bit with that. With Logano, especially going back to that diamond formation through the corners, he's now passed 2 cars right away. And of course, now Hamlin has to do it. So we'll see what happens there. Looks like Hamlin got 1, and he might get the next one here, but Logano's going to get the next one here. Now Logano's got about maybe of clean track that he can work with before he comes up to the next 2 cars. Spotters are super busy right now trying to figure out where everybody's running, where everybody's going. See if we made any more moves from Blaney moving up from 12th. Logano is wanting, I can almost bet you he's hoping that Blaney or Cindric can get near Hamlin or in between him and them. Blaney's still sitting 12th, and Cindric 16th. So unless Logano could come up to Blaney if he catches him, and Blaney, I'm sure, would probably just kind of gentlemanly move over and let Joey take the position, and then he would battle Hamlin really hard. We'd have to see. But we know Blaney had a good car earlier. Just to show you, one mistake takes you from in contention to pretty much out of contention to win. Still get points, but nothing like getting a trophy. All right, so we're 39 laps to go, and Logano was at 0.6 last time with 47. We're now at a little over a second, 1.1 second gap. So it seems like Logano's car is starting to come around. Not to say Hamlin's out of this by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, Gilliland's 8th, Elliott's 24th, Blaney is 12th, and Bell is 19th. But Bell is, I think, 3 or 4 laps down, while Blaney's 1. So almost impossible for Bell to catch him unless something happens. And same with Gilliland and Elliott. Gilliland's 1 lap down, and Elliott is 3 laps down, I think. Yeah, Elliott's 3 laps down. Bell might be 2 laps down, but that's still almost too much to overcome unless there's chaos, which, I mean, there could be. What are we doing here? Blaney, Busher. Who's that? Hill. Yeah. Where's Hocevar? So he's not racing any of those guys. Oh no, Busher and all them are. Okay. It's the next car he's racing. Hocevar, which is right up there. Okay. So Hocevar's about 3 to 4 cars. I think there's 4 cars between Hocevar and Blaney right now for the next position for Blaney. And it's about a quarter of a straightaway. Hocevar is exiting turn 2, and Blaney was in the middle. So your gap's right about there. Like I said, Blaney, I think, is more in survival, trying to figure out how he can help Logano if he can. And just don't do anything stupid to cost you a shot at $1 million for next week. Just, you're pretty well locked into the 12th position. Everybody below you is 2 laps down. You might as well just, pretty much cut your losses at this point. Take your points. You had a good race. You've got quite a few stage points. You've got, you're going to get, 12th place points minimum, unless you can get ahead of Hocevar, then you'll place points. You were only 21 points behind Tyler Reddick earlier in the race with Reddick's issues. So you could close that gap to 7th overall pretty quick. Rudd fan 8810. Yeah, it became that way with the Bowman and Reddick accident in the middle of the green flag run. Yeah, in the middle of the green flag stops in stage 1, that just kind of ruined that whole thing. Oh, that's who that is. I wondered who Rudd fan was. That's cool. Richard. But yeah, that was the problem, Richard, was the wreck. I mean, you trapped everybody, only the top 15. Everybody was trapped a lap down. And there hasn't been near cautions needed to get people back on there to make. I mean, we've got 6 cars on the lead lap. This is just kind of one of those races that happens. It kind of reminds me, you'll remember this especially back in the day when you had Harvick at Atlanta, even though he wasn't winning the races, how much he dominated those, them in Phoenix and even Michigan to an extent. It kind of what it reminds me of. I can remember Atlanta, there were like 6 cars on the lead lap. It's just what it is. And I mean, there's been racing throughout the pack, but it's everybody's kind of, especially like your Blaney. He's just kind of holding serve right now. But the Fords seem to have figured something out here. Obviously, the Toyotas still have quite a few cars in the top 10. But the Fords have what? Logano. We have Logano, Keselowski, Gilliland, and Priest in the top 10. So 4 of the top 10 still. I think Ford is figuring something out. We'll find out what Ford's got next week at Indy. I'm guessing you didn't go to the race either. I know you talked about you might pop into the race, but you said tickets were astronomical for this race. But that's Richard from work who had the Blaney helmet. 21 to go. Well, if that's any semblance, with 21 to go, somebody should wreck. 21 always wrecks. Okay, nobody wrecked. We're at 20 to go now. So we're safe. Maybe. Huh? Yeah, SVG. SVG is going to be a problem, I think, in this whole championship. The only downfall is there is no road courses in the chase. But, man, I thought SVG would be a bubble just with the road courses, to be honest. Dude, SVG's gotten really good. Really fast, too. So I like him. I like what he's doing. I think it's kind of cool. But if you would have told me he was going to be this good on the ovals at the beginning of the year, I might have had you committed. But he's doing really good, yeah. In the Hall of Fame, definitely. I'll be there next year when Harvick goes in. I'm going to go for that. We've had a blast every time we've gone there. It's been a really good time. I enjoy it. I like how interactive it is with the pit crews and all that stuff. I think that's pretty cool. How you can do the car and all that stuff. The simulator. Let me tell you something. If you get on that simulator, you'd probably just pray it isn't Bristol. Bristol is brutal on that simulator. Man, I think I hit the wall. I think I hit the wall more than Josh Berry. And then that's pretty hard to do. Hamlin's closing up with 14 to go. 3/10 back. Logano's got to get around these cars. And he's got to do it fast. The problem is he's got a Toyota beside him, a Toyota in front of him. He has got to get to that 12 car. Blaney's his only friend in that whole mix. Everybody else is just going to let Hamlin go by because it's a Toyota. You've got to get to Blaney. I wonder if Blaney can get loose underneath Hamlin and just kind of rub him up into the wall. Christopher Bell did it to so a Toyota took out a Ford. Why can't a Ford take out a Toyota? Of course, Blaney has a little more to lose than Josh Berry would have. But I think I'll have to check. I think after this race, based on points, Blaney might lock himself in as a lock for the chase. He was close, but we'll have to see. I'll have to let all the points shake out. But I appreciate you and Shane joining in. I'm going to do this more, not every week, but I'm going to do this, when I can. So keep an eye out and jump on with me. I'd like to send you a link, bring you on one of my previews or just one of my shows to talk about stuff, but I have to find out when you're available. All right, so has now done what he needed to do and caught Ryan Blaney. And Blaney, as expected, lets him go on through without any kind of fight. And I don't think the same is going to be said for Denny. I think Brian everything he can to let Joey get out there a little bit with 8 to go. And plus, you've got another Ford in front of that with Noah Gregson. Of course, I don't trust Noah Gregson. I think he's funny, but Noah Gregson is you just never know. He might wreck him. He might wreck a Ford just because he doesn't like the color of the car. I don't know what's up with that dude. And I hate to say it, but it looked like Noah Gregson actually moved out of the way to let Logano and Blaney go, knowing that Blaney would hold up Hamlin better than he could. So coming to 5 to go. Yep. Yeah, I've got your number saved, Richard, from when you were texting me earlier. So I've got your number in my phone. I'll shoot you a text here and there. We'll see when we can work something out and jump on and just talk, especially in the off, some of the moves going on and stuff. And Logano gets around Austin Hill. Oh, wow. Hamlin got around Blaney pretty fast, actually. 4 to go. 0.8 of a second. Yeah, I think this might, unless Logano gets held up by Stenhouse, which he did in 3 to go. Yeah, this is pretty much a Logano win. Became a lot closer due to the pit strategy with Hamlin pitting 1 lap before. Came pretty tight, but Logano has been the dominant car all night. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, they're still coming off turn 4, coming into 3 out of 4 with 1 to go. White flag. What's our gap? Should be 7 to 8 tenths. 9 tenths, yeah. Hit your marks, go around the corner smooth, Mr. Logano, and go collect your checkered flag. Back-to-back wins for Team Penske. Win of the season for him. Blaney won at Phoenix, and he's won last week. Atlanta, and wins. Logano wins this week. Well, not as exciting a race as I hoped for, but I'll take the win for Ford Racing and Team Penske. Sucks that, Barry was crashed out. I think Barry could have had a shot early to win, but a top 10, which would have looked well for his season. But we'll take the win for Ford Motor Company, and I think we found, man, this is what I hate. Fans would just get dogpiled themselves, people throwing stuff at the car while he's doing a burnouts and stuff. That's just not right, man. All it's going to take is something like that to get up under the tire and shot up into the crowd off the burnout, and we're going to have a problem. So it is what it is. Another win. I'm going to check the points out and see what happens, but I believe Blaney might have locked in, or he's real close. So appreciate everybody that jumped in. We're going to watch Joey Logano do burnouts around the track and watch victory celebration. Other than that, everybody have a good night. We'll catch up on the next one.